What's up, YouTube? Eldridge Bell here with another edition of Let It Rip Sports. And today we have to talk about Kam Chancellor ending his holdout and going back to his teammates. Now, I don't know if he got his money or if management just said, hey, you need to come back and play your contract out. But one thing Kam Chancellor did prove was how invaluable he is to this Seattle defense, because people have been able to run. Now, it's only been 2 games now, but people have been able to run and complete long passes against the Seattle Seahawks defense. And when Kam Chancellor's back there laying people out, you never saw too many passes that were completed over 15 yards. Now in these first 2 games, you saw Seattle getting lit up with big plays. That traditionally didn't happen when Kam Chancellor was back there. So I attribute a lot of the deficiencies that the Seahawks have had right now in their first 2 games to the absence of Kam Chancellor. And I'm only speaking of the defensive side. The offense has its own issues with the woeful offensive line. That's a different topic for a different day. But specifically that defense, they weren't together as they were last year when they had Kam Chancellor, because you saw linebackers missing tackles. You saw DBs missing tackles, and that traditionally didn't happen last year. The Seattle Seahawks were known to be a good team. They wrap up, fundamental team. They play fast, and they make plays on the ball. When Kam Chancellor's there, you see that. You didn't see that in these first 2 games against the Rams and against Aaron Rodgers. And to prove my point, let's go back to last year, where they had Jordy Nelson, the Packers against the Seahawks. They had Jordy Nelson, and Aaron Rodgers only had 23 of 33 attempts. He had 189 yards and 1 TD. James Starks, Eddie Lacy combined, listen to what I said there, combined for 71 yards. This year, without Kam Chancellor and Aaron Rodgers didn't have Jordy Nelson, this man goes off for 25 of 33, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns. James Starks goes off for 20 rushes for 95 yards. The one thing they didn't have this year, Kam Chancellor. I guarantee you Kam Chancellor does not allow that to happen, because he is the inspirational leader. He is the heart and soul of that defense. I mean, a lot of people thought it was Earl Thomas, but it's really Kam Chancellor. He does so much, and having a great safety helps your cornerbacks to be able to make more plays on the ball. Like Richard Sherman gets a lot of credit for being one of the top cornerbacks in the league, which he is, but he always has that safety net where he has Earl Thomas and Kam Chancellor where they will lay you out if you try to complete a long pass. Now, traditionally, you didn't see Richard Sherman get beat for long passes traditionally last year when Kam Chancellor was there. This year, in 2 games, now, like I said, it's only 2 games, Richard Sherman's been beat more often than he was in previous years. And having a safety back there who you know has your back, and who you know, if he completes the ball, he's going to pay the price for it. Yeah, that allows you to be more riskier in taking advantage of poorly thrown balls or balls that may be off target just a little bit. Now that Kam Chancellor's back, I think you'll see Richard Sherman return back to his normal self, where he doesn't get beat all that often. Now, that's not to say that Richard Sherman right now got beat a lot, but I'm saying he got beat more than he's been beaten last year. So, kudos to the Seahawks now, and then all those fans. You guys are pretty sure should be happy about that man coming back, because now you guys have that defense, that centerpiece of that defense is coming back, and you'll probably win the next 3 games. You got Chicago, so you're going to beat Chicago. Let's just put that out there. But this is a huge piece that returns. You got to find some way to figure out how to fix the offensive line and get them to gel, because they're pretty bad right now. But as far as that defense, I expect them to go back to their Legion of Boom selves of last year, where you see great fundamentals, you see tackling, and you see hard hitting by number 31. So welcome back, Kam. I like seeing you play, and I can't wait to see you on this Sunday. So tell me, guys, what do you think? Do you think this will be the cure-all for the Seattle defense? Do you think they'll return back to their Legion of Boom self, or do you think it's going to take a while and it's bigger than Kam Chancellor? Let me know. Leave comments and/or suggestions, and please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.